All right, so here's the 30-minute candle strategy I've kind of been posting about before, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible, even though it is very simple of a strategy. Sometimes it can be a little confusing on execution. So the first thing you're doing the first 30 minutes when the stock market opens, you're doing absolutely nothing. You're just going to watch and see what the candle does. There can be a lot of confusion and bias if you do watch it because there's going to be a lot of swings, there's a lot of volume. So for me, the best thing I do is I just wait for that first 30 minutes. Sometimes I don't even watch it. So today we're going to use this as an example. The first 30 minutes came, and it's as simple as what color did this candle close? Today, closed red. So the first thing we're doing, what's the color? Red. Red's going to mean puts. Green, calls. So in this example, your first entry, and this is where it's a little bit important to make sure that you're not just firing based on color alone, but your first entry is going to be as simple as red or green, puts or calls. So today in this example, this is going to be our entry. We're going to say that was a red candle, it closed, and we're showing up. We're going to just enter with the put. So in this example, the price was about 671. So we're going to look for a put that's going to be a little bit the put that's higher. So we're going to do a 672 put, the zero expiration day, and that's going to be our first entry. Usually you want to go a little bit smaller because again, you can add more in confirmation. And if there's a fake out, you don't want to be overexposed and kind of be trapped. The second thing you want to do once you enter, and this is kind of helps make you be a little more patient, is you're going to draw lines which give it a range for the day. So we'll call this the 30-minute range. You just draw the top of the wick, bottom of the wick. And what you're looking for here is you really want to see a close below the blue line or momentum push it below the blue line to keep holding your puts. If you see the opposite, if you see a bounce and support and a lot of momentum, that's where you're going to look to either close those puts or to even add calls. And we'll get to that later. But the first thing, like I said, red puts, open them. And then you're going to kind of watch this 30-minute candle. This is the part that takes a little bit more experience, but over time you'll start learning trends. Like today we had a little bit bounce up. It really didn't do much. And you could tell the momentum was pushing back. So for me, once I saw it come back down below this blue line, I fired another put. And then this one, since it's a little bit later, you can actually get away if you trust the confirmation, doing a put that's a little bit lower, a little riskier, but the returns they'll match about that because it is you're getting it at a cheaper price. So that's my second entry. And then the third and probably most important one is to wait for this candle to close. There's days where it can swing super low, push all the way up. But today was a good example of waiting for the close. We pushed, we closed red. And if you didn't like your entries or you wanted to add more, you could add one more here. And then that would that's kind of your confirmation candle that the 30-minute support broke, momentum is looking red, and we do seem like we're going to push lower on the day. And this one, since it's kind of a worse entry, I'd still probably be safer doing in the money put. So there's your three entries. And now what you're going to watch is first thing for targets, you might want to look to see if there's a gap, which oddly enough, there was a gap today. That's where the market moves after hours. Sometimes those gaps don't always have to fill. Today was a good example where it looked like it kind of came into there. That would be a good target. But in this example, it was nice to see once you're in the trade, there's the breakdown of support. You feel more confident adding, you add some more, and you're just going to watch. And today it had a huge sell-off. And even to right around here, that was about 100% returns for these puts, which again, in a normal day, that's a pretty good time just to close. That's making quite a bit of money in about an hour, less than an hour. And that's not a bad way to just be done for the day. If you didn't catch that and maybe did rebound, you're going to look again. Is this line going to hold? Is it going to be a really strong resistance, or is it going to let the market come back? Sure enough, it held again. And this is where you could even get a fourth entry. This is maybe sometimes you want to wait later in the day and you see it gets rejected, and we push down again, giving you another chance to close down here, down here, down here. And that's kind of the point. But as simple as it is you're picking the candle color. That kind of gives you a feel for direction. Usually the market, once it finds a direction for the day, it likes to continue. And a day like this it's pretty easy when it's just a nice continuation down. There will be reversals, and that's something I'll probably have to show. I'll have to show like a failed day where the strategy goes wrong and how you can close that strategy.